It's Open House Thursday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi, and as always, I have the ladies with me. Get in the building. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm okay, quite tired. I don't know, it's probably age. I love your top. I mean, your top is like what I would wear.
Really?
I love it. And
that's a compliment.
Trousers and your glasses up here.
Thank you, Ike.
Influencing Mariah.
But the lashes are not allowing me to see, man. It's just bothering me. But it's okay.
Meanwhile, I want to say congratulations to the new commissioners. I'm quite excited. Mrs. Toke Benson and Idris Aregbe are in tourism.
Yes, that's your industry.
Like people are near her.
And my dear Benga Motosho as well, who I think is such an amiable gentleman.
Yes.
So congratulations to the new commissioners.
Yes.
I look forward to you doing a great job.
Yes, congratulations to all the commissioners. Pretty excited, especially for Mrs. Toke Benson Awoni and Idris Ashegbe. We know that those two guys are perfect team for that tourism. And we're looking forward to an amazing tenure.
I'm looking forward to an amazing celebration.
Nima, how are you?
Congratulations to all the honorables and the commissioners and essays, but I miss Miss Arami, the essay on works. I wonder how the roads will be, because just this small break after elections that they have been on, you see that things have not been going well. I have been communicating with her on the old Ojo Road and the alternatives and all the works there. So I wonder who we'll be talking to now and how we'll see works happening.
But who is the commissioner in Ogun State?
Let me come to Mariam.
For their list.
Mariam, how are you doing? Since Nima doesn't have any gist for us.
Nima is just, I'm saying my return. And you just not let me finish.
Don't let her finish.
I wanted to shout out to fans.
Come on.
I've made sure that I remember that I was away and I'm back. Some kept in touch. YK, your friend, one Mr. Soti, is his name. He reached out and he calls me. Richard, those who call, they reach out, they send messages. All the popping up messages.
And Richard used to disturb me too. The man called.
Oh, the guy in Germany. I think it was me that gave me your number.
No, you gave him mine.
Yeah, I gave him your number.
At some point, my husband had to take the call and say, Anima can't talk right now. And he was like, does she need to leave the country? I said, leave which country? No, he was sincerely concerned. I love the fact that,
Thank you.
It's a privilege anyway for
You're really loved and, well appreciated. Everybody, I get messages all the time on your behalf. Hope she's fine. I know you can't tell me much, but I hope she's fine. I'm like, yes. And then they scheduled me this week out of
Nima's
any day that Nima is on set. So I had to pull some strings. I'm like, what? So you mean I'm not going to have a day of hailing Nima?
Have you not heard that?
I love you. I'm happy that you're back. I miss you. Look at you. Good to have you, sis.
Okay, let's just listen to this banter about Nima again.
Yes.
All right. So,
She was gone for like 6 months.
5 months.
5
months.
Yes, now.
5 months.
now.
March, April, May, June, July, August, September, 6 months.
No,
Well, let's say 5
It was
months.
5 months actually. I counted.
long like that.
What is the difference between 5 and 6?
One.
Anyways, let's go on a quick break.
Very minimal.
When we return, look at the front pages of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
for staying with us. We're going to start with The Nation. I heard them on the mic in my ears. The Nation. Employers reject NLC's plan to shut down economy. Cooperate with lawmakers, Sanwo-Olu tells 37 commissioners and advisors. US, China owe half of world's 23 trillion, 235 trillion naira debts. Food, energy prices push inflation to highest level in 18 years. Battle rages over rector in Osun Poly. NIMC moved to Interior Ministry to speed up passport issuance. Tinubu, Abiodun, others felicitate Alake at 80. NEMA's alert, flood to pound 50 communities in 13 states. CNG buses on test run in Ogun. Gains of autonomy for buses by BC. Okay, which story are we starting with in The Nation?
Yeah. Good news. NIMC, according to the Minister for Interior, has now been moved from the Ministry of Communications to the Ministry of Interior because, of course, it's a very important prerequisite to getting your passport to have your NIN number. And so, and the NIN, according to in this report, somebody said undisclosed, unconfirmed information that they had is that the NIN portal has been down for over a month. And so they're hoping that when this synergy, this collaboration happens, improved services will, so their services will improve and the NIN will continue to give the numbers as fast as possible. The Minister for Interior also said that about 60,000 of the 200,000 passports outstanding have been met and then issued out. And so we're hoping that, I am hoping that the requirement for NIN will speed up name corrections as well, because I have that problem. I have a correct data with the NIN, but the passports, they make mistakes and you're required to travel to Abuja. But I know for NIN, mistakes are done within your state. Hopefully this will improve some of these services that we are bottlenecks for us anyway.
He's working. I like that about him.
Go ahead, Mikey.
You can take Nima. I'll take my...
Alake.
Yeah.
Alake. Okay. So the National Emergency Management Agency has said that 13 states and 50 communities, mostly in the north, are likely to witness heavy rainfall, and it may lead to heavy flooding. That's between September 13th and 17th. Today is 14th, right? So, you know, this week. So NEMA is saying that has given us a list of these states and communities within the states that are likely to be affected by this flooding. We have in Kebbi State, it started by Kano State, Sumaila, Kunchi likely to be affected. Kebbi State, so many communities in that, a few communities in that state will be affected. We also have Niger State, Kontagora, Meshego, and New Busa communities will be affected. Kwara State as well, Zamfara, Okaranamud, and many other communities as well. Bauchi, communities there as well. And then Taraba State too, but no State. The Adamawa State in Adamawa State as well, some of the communities will be affected. Yobe State, Gombe State. So these are, many of the states that will be affected and the communities. So alert is going out right now, to let these communities know. But, we always talk about this where we say we get these annual, almost like clockwork warnings. But, what exactly do we do for the next one that is to come? How are we handling it differently? So we have either we have no loss of, life or property, because we remember last year the sort of pictures we saw, and I hope that we don't see that as well this time around. We need to build on doing it better.
Let me take the major headlines. So private employers of labor have cautioned NLC, saying that the proposed strike will be counterproductive if it goes ahead, that they hope that NLC will be willing to negotiate, go back to the dialogue table with federal government. According to them, NLC must seek opportunities, better opportunities for its members to cushion the subsidy removal pain rather than going on a strike, or continue the dialogue with government. Other organizations, if you recall, President of the NLC, Joe Ajero, had called out workers on a 2-day warning strike and said that they will have a total shutdown of the economy in 2 weeks if the pump price is not reversed and subsidy, well, no, they didn't say subsidy should be returned, but pump price should be reversed to the original price. However, various organizations and various groups have also said that Dialogue is a very preferred means to negotiate with the government. That strikes are therefore preventable. They think that both governments and organizable should find a common ground. The Director General specifically of the Nigerian Employers Consultative Association, as Mr. Adewale Smart Oyerinde, said that the proposed strike will be counterproductive, adding that it will hurt more the employers and the employees more. So hope that they would stop down.
So I just wanted to take that the president and the governor of Ogun State have felicitated with the Alake of Egbaland, who is 80 today, and they have rejoiced and said he's an exemplary leader. He was an exemplary military officer and is still an exemplary royal father. All the Council of Chiefs and Sons of Daughters of Egbaland,
Including yourself?
including myself, who my own grandmother actually drove, his descendant of. You know, I watched the film recently.
I want to see it.
Yeah, it's out now.
It's on Prime or Netflix?
It will be.
I think it's Prime.
It will be on Prime.
No, I think
Now
it's
you are
Amazon.
watching
I'm
it
not
now.
sure. I'm not sure. It's shown in cinemas, I think, right now. So she drove him his.
Oh, was that him?
The Alake, not this him.
Alake.
His
Alake.
Yeah.
So Alake, I always remember him as the monarch with one wife. I always remember that. Anytime I remember seeing him, I remember this is the monarch that has one wife, the wife of his youth, and they're still together till today, happy. And
I've actually met him.
congratulations to
He's
him.
quite a nice.
He's come on the show.
Takes
He's been on the show.
The Alake.
Alake has been
Yes.
on the show.
Yes.
Alake has
on
been.
the show.
You were not,
Alake
you were
was
not
on
even
the
in the country, but we enjoyed it.
Very, very regal. Very came in
All
and
those, they were blowing the
Yes.
stuff. It was just.
let's move on.
On the
Let's
show?
move-
Yes, Obankyo. I
I
remember
the
the
video. I will share it.
Let us move on to the punch.
So which one? Happy birthday, Alake.
Alake, why can you? I don't
Alake. That's what I
You
said.
say Alake?
No, I said Alake.
Okay.
Even if I said Alake, it's still the same, the correct pronunciation. Maybe not the correct intonation.
The punch. We have very few minutes left.
Is it not you? Is it not you?
ASU parents protest as more varsities hike the fees. Libya flood kills 6,000 victims buried in mass graves. One feared killed as flood wreaks havoc in Lagos estate. Naira weakens to 950 to the dollar. Forex scarcity worsens. Land grabbers violent returned to Lagos leaves trail of blood and deaths. Manufacturers slash outputs. Job over forex crisis. Slain soldiers, over 6,000 family members get insurance claims. And FG predicts heavy rainfall flooding in 48 towns. Okay, which story are we starting with?
Okay, let me quickly start with the picture story. The flood in Libya is so heart-wrenching.
Very,
to
very
see,
painful.
Very heartbreaking to see how the flood destroyed the entire town, and the death toll right now is over 6,000 according to the CNN. But good news is that the president, our president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has shown support, and he said he's ready to provide essential support to people hit with that devastating flood in Libya. Also, the Ministry under Secretary for Unity Government in Tripoli, because there are two rival governments, saying that the mortuaries are overwhelmed, the hospitals are out of service, and there are bodies lying everywhere right now. This is also showing that a pandemic might follow the flood, and it's scary. I'm hoping that the world turn this time around to Libya as well as
I hope America is happy with itself.
with itself, yes.
Because they're the ones that destroyed that country.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's move on. Another story?
Yeah, they said one person was feared killed in a flood in the Gatehouse Gold Crescent estate in Lagos State, and the residents have expressed fear that it's been happening, but this was on Tuesday. The rain that fell was like the worst one. It says it's always flooding here, and it's been like this since 2007. But there is a quarrel between the LSDPC and the Public Works Corporation. One is saying, no, it's not on our jurisdiction anymore, because the residents are saying, please come and do this. At the canals, the flood comes from the canals. When the canal comes into their estate, so they are quarreling about who is responsible for it.
Okay, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail, or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table. So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail, or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch. Miriam had a story.
Yes. The Naira has fallen again. They said fell further to the dollar on Wednesday. That was yesterday. Closed at 950 Naira to the dollar at the parallel market, and at the I&E Forex window, it closed at 758 Naira 12 corp.